trophy at a soccer match. Our task is to tend the Spirit's garden, ripen in the Spirit's ways, taste the fruit, get to know its richness, and create an environment for the Spirit to express herself in us and through us. The more aware we become of the Spirit's presence and fruit, the better we are able to live out of their beauty. Things to remember as you study. A couple of things may be helpful for you as you enter into these reflections. First of all, I invite you to use a different lens from the one through which you may most often look at instructions in the Bible. We often see the Bible as urging moral characteristics and choices that we must embrace and allow to guide our behavior. There are many cases in which that is perfectly true. For this exploration, however, I invite you to set aside the heavy need to master the fruit in your behavior. Set aside as well all the attendant judgment, shame, and desire for control. Try on a new set of glasses that contain the dual lenses of awakening and surrendering. Try to entertain the notion that the fruit is not a set of morals to be checked off in order to feel safe from God's wrath or displeasure, nor is it a checklist to manage in order to be a faithful disciple. Rather, acknowledge for a moment that the Spirit is already bringing to fruit every possible good thing in and through you. You are asked simply to clear the ground, expand your vision, release, and share what the Spirit produces in and through you. To explore the fruit of the Spirit in this way, it will be helpful to reframe your image of God from police officer to midwife. If the Spirit's job is to keep you in line, that is one thing. If the Spirit's job is to bring new life to delivery within you, that is another thing altogether. Both roles can certainly be useful at times. For now, consider that God is not an offended monarch on a faraway throne who is perpetually disgusted with us hapless mortals. Rather, consider that God calls us to the joy of God's presence by inviting us to discover our deepest desires, our most authentic selves, and God's own immense power and beauty. Let God do the work of bringing forth fruit in you with carrots and not sticks. A second thing that will be helpful in this study is to develop comfort with paradoxes. They are at the heart of the spiritual life. The Bible is full of them, most notably that the route to true and everlasting life is through physical death and the many little deaths along the way. In approaching the fruit of the Spirit, we discover that trying to master them never works. In my opinion, no one ever embodies the fruit of the Spirit by trying harder. At the same time, we have some responsibility for the inner work of garden tending. We cannot work our way to surrender, yet we must work hard to create an environment for surrender. Both of those things are true at the same time, even though they may not seem to be. It will be helpful as you listen not to worry about or rate your progress. Those are not categories of thought in the Spirit's garden. Growth and ripening are the categories here, and they often happen in fits and starts. Fret not, you are not a failure. You are on a journey, and a lifelong one at that. The fruit in each of its aspects is not intended to be an intermittent outpouring, but a settled state of our being. As with any ripening, that takes time. Jesus says, "Abide in me as I abide in you." Still, as with all blooming things, there are seasons of abundance and seasons of waiting for new growth. Our job when we are overflowing and when we seem fallow is to tend and to wait. A third thing that may take some getting used to is the limitation of the English language for talking about the Spirit. What pronouns are appropriate for talk of the Spirit? In the Hebrew Scriptures, also called the Old Testament, the Spirit, Hebrew ruach, is feminine. In the New Testament, the pronouns applied to the Spirit, Greek pneuma, are neuter. While the Scriptures in English most often use masculine pronouns for the Godhead and masculine